Mr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? Seems as if you only just arrived. You've done a great deal in a small time span.
Look, we all know Valve can't count to 3. It's basically a mathematical constant at this point, right up there with pi and Gordon Freeman's word count. But the Crowbar Collective didn't just step up to the plate. They hit a grand slam with Black Mesa. Originally, starting as a source mod in 2012, this labor of love took 8 years of development before its full release in 2020. We're talking about a fan remake so damn polished that Valve themselves gave it the blessing to sell it on Steam. Probably because they were too busy building their money fortress to make it themselves. And no, Half-Life Alyx doesn't count in the numbering sequence. Beautiful as it is, I'm not strapping a mortgage payment to my face just to play it. Black Mesa isn't just a remake though. It's what happens when a group of absolute madlads rebuild a classic from the ground up while preserving its soul. Running on a heavily modified version of the source engine, it delivers the kind of visual fidelity that makes the original look like a Minecraft texture pack. Everything you remember from the 98 version? It's here, just prettier and smoother, more so than a freshly waxed headcrab. The attention to detail is staggering too, from the enhanced on-a-rail chapter, now with 50% less confusion and 100% more shotgun spam, to the complete reimagining of the game's most notorious sections. They even redid all the voice acting.
Ah, Gordon, there you are. No need to worry about us, Gordon.
Which is kind of a flex that makes all the other remakes look lazy by comparison.
Fascinating.
Now, if you're coming from modern shooters where the games practically play themselves, press F to finish the fucking game, you better buckle up. Black Mesa expects you to actually use your brain.
Hello?
It runs on the source engine, which means you get all those juicy physics-based puzzles that made Half-Life 2 pretty legendary. You either love them or you hate them. But with that classic Half-Life 1 structure. We're talking proper physics simulations for everything from bullet impacts to explosive barrels. No breadcrumb trails, no floating arrows, it's just you and your PhD in theoretical physics against the world. And the military-industrial complex. And aliens. The gameplay is pure, uncut, old-school shooter excellence running at a buttery smooth 60 FPS. Eat your heart out. Bunny hopping? Check. And now, with proper air acceleration. Drive-by fragging? You bet your fucking lamb to cymbal. And the source engine makes those grenades bounce with beautiful precision. Environmental platforming. Hope you didn't skip leg day, and it's kind of fucking annoying. Because the game features over 15 hours of campaign content, and a lot of that is fucking platforming. So if you're not a fan of jumping on shit to get to other shit, you're probably going to get pretty frustrated.
Stop crying.
That said, the overall action and pacing of the game itself make it pretty tolerable. Now, some of the biggest changes revolve around Zen. You remember that? That rushed mess felt like someone designed an alien dimension after a bad sushi experience. Crowbar Collective now spent 2 extra years just on that section alone, and holy shit did it pay off. We're talking about a 3 to 4 hour campaign chapter that gives you 2 entirely new environments to explore, complete with their own ecosystem, alien flora and fauna, and it's pretty cool. Imagine if H.R. Geiger and Oddworld had a baby. It sounds pretty weird, but it actually works, and I think it was worth all the time and effort. As I said, they're already running on a very heavily modified version of the source engine, and it pushes the lighting and particle effects to the extreme. Every area in here tells some sort of environmental story. It's got bioluminescent flora, weird alien architecture. The only catch is that while it's absolutely brilliant, it probably could have used a shorter runtime. Because after you're done soaking up the visual appeal, you're going to want to change a pace, and I found myself wondering when the hell the boss fight was going to show up, so I could get a change of scenery.
2 hours later.
That said, aside from maybe a few die-hard purists, I think it's fair to say that most people would consider this an improvement over the original. But wait, there's more. Just when you thought the hype train was pulling into the station, the HECU Collective said hold on and started working on bringing Blue Shift into the modern era via the Steam Workshop. The original Blue Shift was a 4-hour expansion pack and it released in 2001. It followed the security guard Barney Calhoun and his perspective during the same Black Mesa incident that you play through as Gordon in the original game. And this isn't really just some quick and dirty port either. We're talking about a full-blown remake similar to Black Mesa, with completely redesigned levels, new assets, and expanded areas that were previously limited by the original engine. Essentially, the modders are doing Valve's job for them, and they're doing a pretty damn good job too. They're even adding new sections to flesh out Barney's story and connect it seamlessly with the main Half-Life narrative. It's pretty cool. Anyhow, final word, Black Mesa proves that sometimes the fans understand the source material better than the creators themselves. And while Valve has been busy in their workshop creating Deadlock, which is basically them taking every successful thing they've ever made, throwing it in a blender, adding Overwatch's DNA, and producing what might be the most perfectly engineered competitive game ever, the modding community has been out here doing God's work. Between Black Mesa setting new standards for remakes and Valve casually flexing their "we invented half of modern gaming" muscles, with a project that is likely causing Blizzard to panic call their lawyers, we might be entering a new golden age of gaming. But until then, we've got this absolute banger of a remake to remind us why Half-Life became legendary in the first place.
So, who is this guy? Freeman.
They say he was at Ground Zero.
Science team.
Yeah.
Shit. What, so you think this guy's responsible? Sabotage, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All I know for sure is this guy's been killing Marines.